The spear in Fen's hand is a perfect thing. The shaft, carved from a single piece of fire-hardened ash, is straight and true. The flint point is a masterpiece of knapping, its edges so sharp they can shave the hair from his arm. He bound the point to the shaft himself, using the finest sinew from a doe's backstrap, soaked and stretched until it dried as hard as wood. It is the pinnacle of their technology, the tool that allows a clan of soft-skinned apes to survive in a world of titans, and it is about to prove utterly useless. Their prey is an Ankylosaurus, a living mountain of bone and spite, cornered in a narrow rock-strewn gully. It is a prize beyond measure. Its belly meat is rich, but its true value lies in its armor, the great plates of fused bone, the osteoderm that cover its back. These can be used to make impenetrable shields, tools, and club heads. To kill one is to secure the clan's safety for a season. The plan is simple and brutal, honed over generations. The hunters, led by the stoic male, create a diversion from the front, taunting the great beast with feints and shouts. Fen and others are positioned on the rock ledges above, waiting for the moment the creature exposes the softer, less armored flesh of its flank as it turns. The Ankylosaurus is not a clever animal, but it is a patient one. It hunkers down, its legs tucked beneath its body, presenting nothing but an impenetrable shell. The only movement is the slow, rhythmic swing of its great tail club, a wrecking ball of solid bone that sweeps back and forth, daring them to come closer. The air is thick with the dust kicked up by the hunters and the low, guttural grunts of the cornered beast. Male sees an opening. He hurls a rock, striking the creature's armored snout. The beast draws an annoyance and shifts its weight, turning to face the new threat. For a single heartbeat, its flank is exposed. Now, male bellows. From the ledges, 3 spears fly. They are perfect throws, aimed at the small gaps between the massive osteoderms. Fen watches his own spear, the perfect spear, arc down. He expects the satisfying, meaty thud of a deep strike. Instead, there is a sharp, ugly crack, like a stone shattering. His spearhead doesn't pierce the hide, it disintegrates on impact, the flint turning to white powder against the unyielding armor. The other 2 spears suffer the same fate. They bounce off, their shafts splintering, their precious points destroyed. The beast, enraged but entirely unharmed, turns its fury on the closest target. Male is fast, but the tail club is faster. It doesn't swing, it simply arrives. The sound is not the clean snap of a broken bone but the wet, pulping crunch of an entire leg being obliterated. Male goes down with a scream that is swallowed by the beast's triumphant roar. The hunt is over. The retreaters are frantic, desperate scramble, carrying Miles' broken body, leaving their shattered spears behind as mocking testaments to their failure. That night, by the fire, Fen doesn't listen to Miles' groans of pain. He stares at the pieces of a broken spear shaft, turning them over and over. The point was sharp enough. The failure was in the binding. The sinew, for all its strength, had stretched just enough on impact to allow the flint to strike at an angle, to shatter instead of pierce. The link was the weakness. And in that moment of profound failure, a new kind of hunt begins in his mind. Mel does not die, but his life as a hunter is over. His leg is a ruin of splintered bone and mangled flesh, and he lies in the back of the cave, a constant, groaning monument to their failure. The clan's morale has crumbled. They are afraid. They hunt smaller, less dangerous prey, their confidence shattered along with their spears. The memory of the unharmed Ankylosaurus haunts their days, a symbol of a power they cannot overcome. For Fen, the memory is not a ghost, it is a teacher. He retreats into himself, his hands always busy, but his mind is elsewhere, replaying the moment of impact, the sickening crack of his perfect flint point. He is no longer just a toolmaker. He is a man obsessed with a single problem, the shattering point. He works in secret, in a small rock shelter overlooking the valley, a place the others avoid. His work is a form of experimental archaeology performed on the future, not the past. He gathers the useless things, the dregs of the world. He scrapes sticky, amber-colored resin from the pines, a substance good only for trapping insects and making torches burn too fast. He grinds the sacred red ochre, the blood of the earth, a pigment reserved for the shaman's rituals and cave paintings, not for tools. To use it this way is a quiet sacrilege. He is seeking a new truth, and he senses it lies in combining things that should remain separate. His first attempts are failures. The pine resin, when heated and applied to a spearhead, hardens into a brittle, glassy seal that cracks with the slightest impact. He tries mixing it with sand, but the bond is weak. He tries clay, but it crumbles to dust. They see him returning to the caves at dusk, his hands stained red and black, his eyes distant. They see him as a man lost in the grief of their defeat, playing with mud and sap while they struggle to find enough food. He is becoming an outcast, but he does not notice. His entire world has shrunk to the size of a turtle shell mixing bowl. The breakthrough comes not as a flash of insight, but as a slow, sticky realization. He warms the resin over a small, smokeless fire until it becomes a liquid golden sun. Then, slowly, he adds the ochre powder. He watches the blood of stone disappear into the blood of wood. The mixture changes. It thickens, turning from a translucent gold to a deep, opaque blood red. It is no longer just sticky resin. It is something new, a thick, workable paste. He feels a tremor of discovery in his chest. He takes a piece of broken flint and a shard of wood and joins them with the warm paste. He sets it aside and waits for the sun to pass overhead, his heart pounding with a mix of hope and fear. When he returns, he picks up the bonded pieces. They feel like a single object. He tries to pull them apart. They do not move. He grips them and smashes them against a large boulder. The wood splinters and the flint cracks, but the reed seam, the bond itself, remains unbroken. He stares at the result, his breath catching in his throat. He has done it. He has created a binding stronger than sinew, stronger than the materials it holds together. That evening he does not return to the main cave. He stays in his shelter, and by the light of a single torch, he begins to craft a new set of spears, their tips married to their shafts not with knots, but with the dark, unbreakable blood of stone and wood. Then returns to the clan not with an apology, but with a challenge. He carries 3 new spears. The heads are sealed to the shafts with a thick, lumpy, reddish-black substance, a stark contrast to the elegant neatness of traditional sinew bindings. He walks to the center of the great cave and holds one up in the firelight. "These will not break," he says, his voice quiet, but carrying a strange new authority. Garrow, who took Maul's place as hunt leader, snorts in derision. "You have been playing with mud while we starve Fen. Your head is soft." Fen says nothing. He simply walks to the cave wall and, with a sharp, powerful thrust, drives the spear into a fissure in the rock. Then he hangs his entire body weight from the shaft. The wood groans, the rock groans. But the bond holds. A stunned silence falls over the clan. The test comes 3 days later. A lone bull triceratops has wandered into their valley, a beast almost as formidable as the Ankylosaurus. Its great, bony frill is a shield, and its 3 horns are spears of their own, capable of gutting a hunter with a single, casual toss of its head. This is the ultimate trial for their new primitive technology. The plan is the same, a dance of distraction and precision. But this time, the feeling is different. The hunters hold Fen's new spears. Their weight familiar, but the balance subtly changed. There is a seed of hope, a flicker of belief in the ugly red bond. The bull charges. Its roar is a bellow of raw power, its head low, its massive, parrot-like carrot, a no USB ready to snap bone. The hunters scatter, drawing its attention, leading it on a thundering chase across the valley floor. Fen is not with them. He stands with 2 of the clan's best throwers on a high ledge, the same position from which they failed before. The bull, enraged by the dancing pests around it, presents its flank for a single, fleeting moment. There is no crack of shattering flint. There is only a trio of deep, wet, percussive thuds. The spears strike home, sinking deep into the thick hide behind the beast's massive shoulder. The composite adhesive has done its job, holding the flint points perfectly straight on impact, allowing them to pierce muscle and find vital organs. The Triceratops stumbles, a look of profound surprise in its ancient, reptilian eye. It lets out a choked, gurgling roar and crashes to the ground, its own immense weight driving the spear points deeper. The earth shakes with its fall. The clown stares, first at the dead mountain of flesh, then at the 3 spears protruding from its side, their ugly red bindings intact. They have not just killed a monster. The celebration that night is not just for the meat that will feed them for a moon cycle. It is for Fen. They bring him the best cuts. They touch his hands. They look at him with a new kind of reverence. He is no longer Fen the toolmaker. He is Fen the wise, the man who found a new strength not in muscle or courage, but in the secret conversations between sap and stone. This is their technological revolution, born in the mind of one man and destined to change their world forever. They have learned that the greatest power does not always lie in the strength of a spear arm, but in the bond that holds the point. This was more than a hunt. It was a paradigm shift, a quiet but profound turning point in the epic of human evolution. In that ugly smear of red adhesive, humanity had stumbled upon a fundamental law of the universe, that the whole can be greater than the sum of its parts. Fen's discovery was not just about building a better spear. It was about the birth of chemistry, of engineering, of the alchemical idea that intellect could transmute the worthless into the priceless. This leap of imagination, seeing a weapon hidden in the sap of a tree and the dust of a rock, was a more significant adaptation than sharper teeth or stronger claws. It was the moment our ancestors stopped merely using the world as they found it and began to remake it to suit their needs. From that first composite adhesive springs the lineage of every invention, every alloy, every complex creation we have ever conceived. It was the day we learned that the secrets to our survival were not always found in plain sight, but were waiting to be mixed together in the crucible of a curious mind. Progress is not a new stone, but a new way to bind the stone you have. And on the windswept plains, a different kind of bond was being forged, not of resin but of trust between 2 species.